welcome. Today I will be sharing with you on topic that I haven't been comfortable to talk about until now. Obviously I talk with my friends and family, but not with my wider circle on social medias. Now, the reason I have been avoiding this subject, firstly, is because I think I still have been holding some kind of belief that I will be judged, but now I feel ready and I see the world, external world, as a representation of what I hold inside. So if something outside triggers me, or I know it will trigger me, then our tendency is normally to avoid it. Now I'm leaning more into facing it, and if something triggers me, of course it is mine to heal if I choose to. If something doesn't trigger me, it is not mine, is just showing me that I have this integrated within me. So the topic that I'm gonna speak about is money. Money. Now, I've written down a few points that I've learned on my journey about money, and I will share them with you. So the first one is that money is spiritual. Yes, money is spiritual. Everything in this world is spiritual because everything is in energy. And in order for something to be physical and manifested, it has to be brought from the world of spirit, from the world of absolute, from source into thought, into feeling, into action, and then it becomes dense in this physical reality. So everything in essence is spiritual, but money, because we're speaking about money, is spiritual, and having money can give us spiritual experiences. It took me quite a long time to realize this, and I've been thinking that money will not, give me spiritual experiences, and in fact it can take away from me. And we can look at it in many different ways, but what I have realized through my own experience, that if I tune into in fact, close your eyes now. Let's do a little exercise. Just close your eyes and imagine that you can have any amount of money that you wish. That this amount of money is now landing in your bank account. It could be anything, as much as you feel. And you know that with this money you could help your family, you could help other people, you could make Christmas for so many people, homeless people, orphanage, other countries, your neighbors. Like, you could literally give so much, and you could give to yourself. You could give to yourself travel. You could go shopping. If you have kids, or you buying presents for others, you could buy much more valuable gifts. Perhaps you could do some home improvements, buy a car. And imagine you have this money now. And breathe and notice what's happening in your body when you imagine, feel as if you have all this money. What happens for me is I start to feel my vibration rising. I start to release the sometimes there could be some fear, some shame, judgment, some kind of heaviness, sadness, created by lack or not having enough. And as soon as I tune into my inner self, embodying the frequency of money, my frequency starts to rise higher, which means that my spiritual frequency is elevated. So why wouldn't we strive to feel in those higher vibrations, which are more loving, more compassionate, which can create so much magic in the world? Why wouldn't we? I wasn't, because I thought that money would make me a bad person. But again, any thoughts we have about something, it's a belief, and we can ask ourselves, does it serve me, and do I want to continue to believe it, or do I want to continue to keep accessing my limiting beliefs and change them if I wish to? Change for something that serves me. Now, if I have money, if money is available to me, and I can have any amount, and I can do something good with it, whether for myself to feel good, to feel better, to elevate my frequency even more, to feel freer. If I start to feel more and more joy inside of myself from experiences, better food, traveling, treating myself to different things, of course everybody around me will benefit, because I will be happier. So that alone creates a beautiful ripple effect in life. But then when you have money and you can help other people in some kind of way, like, why wouldn't you? We only stop ourselves from doing that because we believe that we shouldn't get any money, or we don't deserve money, and then we lose the chance of feeling more joy. I'm not saying that money brings us joy, but it certainly helps us access this lighter feeling that is always available to us, despite the money that we have or don't have. It just helps. External circumstances help, but we absolutely can, as you've experienced now, feel it without any money. And if we can produce this state of feeling good throughout the day, then more and more experiences that bring us this kind of frequency are being created by us, because our frequency, our own vibration, creates the external world. So this is number one lesson. Money are spiritual. I hope you have your own proof right now for the elevation of your frequency and how you felt. The second thing I've written down is that focus on lack creates more lack, and focus on abundance creates more abundance. And again, this is you probably know this through many different concepts, but when we don't have something and we start to think about not having it, or that we want more, but at the same time we are deeply rooted, our home base is in not having it, we start to create more and more of the same. And if we focus on having, no matter how much we are having, it starts to grow, because our focus amplifies everything. So we can focus on lack, amplifying more lack, or we can focus on abundance, amplifying more abundance. And to focus on abundance, we don't have to be abundant. We can, even we can find one penny, and instead of saying like, oh, it's just one penny, whatever, like I wish I found more, then we can see, wow, magic, I found one penny. money are available to me. And if we start focusing on that and start feeling it vibrantly, obviously we're going to create more experiences like this. There is a famous quote from Bible: those who have will be given more. Those who do not have, even that what they have will be taken away from them. And this could be I think this could also show us that if we don't have, we produce more fear, because we are choosing to see what we don't have. But when we start to appreciate what we do have, it starts to grow. That's how I feel this quote means. In the past, it didn't make sense at all to me, but as I started looking at it in a different way, it started making total sense. So I hope you can also see in your life, when you focus on something, like you focus on the pain, you have more pain. You focus on the problem, you have more problem. But when you focus on solution to the problem, the solution comes. When you focus on something that feels good instead of pain, that feeling good comes. So whatever we focus on amplifies, expands. Number 3, talking about money helps us shed shame. Money, for most of my life, have been a taboo subject. It made me feel so uncomfortable, no matter if I had money or if I didn't have. If I didn't have, I was embarrassed and ashamed to talk about money that I don't have it, because I associated my self-worth with not having money. And if I didn't have money, then I wasn't worthy, and I believed that people wouldn't like me, or they would judge me, where in fact I was judging myself and didn't like myself. So this can create a lot of shame, guilt, self-blame, self-judgment, even self-aggression, a lot of different emotions, fear, certainly fear. And when I have money, or when we have money, we can feel shame for having it, because we don't think we are good enough to have it. We don't think we deserve it. We feel like others may be jealous and may judge us that we've done something good or something bad, or why we're not sharing it with them. They may be not happy to be around us. So either way, as with previous points, we could feel a lot of emotions from having money or from not having money. That's why talking about it in a safe environment, being honest with yourself, connected to yourself, helps so much. I started from journaling about it, which was kind of like talking to myself about it and acknowledging it within myself and sharing for myself, so I could see it with my own eyes. Because when we think about things and when there's lots of chaos in the mind, those thoughts may not always make sense, but when we start putting them on paper, they make more and more sense for us. And then I start to externalize it and talk to my friends and family in different situations, whether I had money or I didn't have, or I needed help or I wanted to help. And a lot of emotions came, a lot of tears came, a lot of different situations brought different emotions, whether it was gratitude or shame or fear, joy. Like, I loved feeling them all, and I loved going through that experience. And this, in fact, feeling the emotions of facing my discomfort was also a spiritual experience for me. Of course, it's not an experience of having mystical experience where you're taken to another dimension, but it is creating vibrational shift within us, and we become more aware of something that we are, which makes us feel more whole. And this life is about coming back to our wholeness, to remember who we are. And we can only remember by acknowledging things, by not running away from them, but facing them and integrating them within our being. So I hope you can recall some situations from your life that when you talked about money, you felt better, whether it is to yourself or to others. And perhaps if you don't have many situations like that, I encourage you to start talking more. That's why I'm recording this video as well, because I'm facing my own discomfort. Is not something that comes naturally to me, but today I just felt the pull in my heart to talk about it. I've actually channeled as well wealth activation meditation this morning, and I was like, it's time, and I am ready. So here I am. Number 4, give for the pleasure of giving, not to get something. So giving is a very important aspect when it comes to money or material things, or even our time, because time could be money, right? And I've noticed a lot in my life. I used to give, and I probably still do if I'm not aware of it, but trust me, like I became so observant of myself and more conscious when I do things. So I notice my hidden motives, hidden intentions. But I used to give so much of things, money, for the, not for pleasure of giving, but I wanted to get something out of it. And yeah, I used to, it wasn't that I was consciously saying I will give you this and having the intention, okay, I will get something from you. I did also in the past, but that when it became more obvious and when I became aware of it, I stopped doing that. But what used to happen, I used to lie to myself that I'm giving because I want to give, where in fact I wasn't really honest and truthful to myself. As we start noticing those layers that we carry, we realize that there is a truth that is centered in our heart or in the core of our being. You may sense it differently. I sense it in my heart. And sometimes the mind creates an illusion that is around the heart and pretends that this is the heart and this is what I'm doing and there are my intentions, where in fact those intentions are hidden. And therefore I was hiding from myself that I'm giving to get, or not necessarily. So I used to give to others, knowing the law of the universe, that when you give to someone, you don't have to expect anything in return from that person, and the universe will provide for you from other sources. I used to give for that, expecting to get from someone else. And I used to be frustrated why I'm not getting. I'm just giving and not getting. But I wasn't focused on the pleasure and on the joy of giving, which is also focused on the present moment. Because we cannot, if we are giving to someone and expecting to get something from the universe, which is also us in another way, we are actually not present. So we can't even acknowledge the joy of giving. Pure joy of giving, it's when you give to someone and like you are there with them without having thoughts of like, what will you get in the future? I've recorded another video on giving, so you might want to watch that. There are I think it's called, I don't remember actually what it's called, but you can find it on my YouTube channel. Now, I hope you can recognize within yourself, because it's very important not to just listen to me, but recognize those aspects within your life, that when you give someone something for the joy of giving, it makes you feel so much better. And then of course the universe will provide, and of course you will get more, but you don't give to get more. You give because it makes you feel good and excited and joyous. And of course, the more you have, the more you can give, right? And the more you give, the more you have. So it starts to amplify again, because your focus is on that. And yeah, from now on, I invite you also to observe how you give, what motives you use, if you have any hidden intentions, and just observe them, let them dissolve within you, acknowledge them. Notice if you're lying to yourself, as I used to. Yeah, this is something that I'm very observant now, to integrate it within me and to be really honest. And number 5, the last one for today, receive gratefully with an open heart. Now, again, I've recorded another video on receiving that you may want to watch, but what I've realized on my journey, that I used to receive, and I used to receive a lot from my friends, family. Well, we always receive, right? We're receiving the breath as I speak and as you listen. You're receiving my words. There is so much to receive. Receiving the chair, receiving the space around me. But I used to, so receiving, we are always receiving, but we are not aware that we are receiving. And we are not aware, when we are not aware, we can't fully receive. Again, awareness amplifies things, right? When we focus on something, it amplifies. So when we are receiving, and sometimes also we have thoughts that we are not worthy, we don't deserve it, our body contracts and our energy contracts. It becomes more dense, it becomes heavier. Therefore, what we're receiving, we may receive it physically, but it doesn't reach our energy field because we are close to it. The heart is not receiving the full essence of the person that is giving. So apart from giving physically, we give to each other emotions, right? And if someone gives us something with joy and our heart is like that, we cannot receive that joy because it cannot penetrate us in. Only when we start to breathe, we soften our body, relax a little bit. Through this process, especially recently for the last 2 months, I have received so much, and I've shed so many tears just from receiving and from allowing myself to fully receive. It's unbelievable. Again, I invite you to observe yourself, how you are receiving, or how other people are receiving as well when you give. And just allow yourself to soften, allow yourself to open your heart. You can even visualize that your heart is opening. You can visualize a door there, or some kind of beautiful flower. I like to visualize sometimes. And notice how this shifts the way you receive and how you can fully take it in. It's like, it could be compared to breathing the air, but you just breathe a little bit into your nostrils. And that's it. And you want to exhale straight away because it's like, I shouldn't be receiving it. But when you allow it deeply in, like your whole body is filled up, That's why breathing when we receive really helps to amplify it. Allow yourself to take deep breaths as you receive, and imagine your breath is allowing you to receive that thing, the gift or the money. Even when you receive money from your work, from your services, from any other sources, just allow yourself to fully receive rather than just seeing it on your bank account or in your hands if you're receiving cash. Just in and out, and feel how it opens you up, how it creates the feeling of joy, of gratitude, of expansion within you. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, for listening. Please leave me some comments which point resonated with you the most, and yeah, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. As I've mentioned earlier, I've recorded wealth activation meditation as well that you can listen to. It is recorded for female because I use the word she in there. That's how it came to me. But if you're a man, you can also listen to it with changing she for he, and that will be that will work the same way. So looking forward to recording another video for you. Thank you very much, and have a abundant, wealthy day. Bye.